Hey guys, Mike, Chassis Parts Online, again with you this morning. That is the 53 to 56 F-100 crossmember. I was hanging upside down in my shop with some primer on it. I primed it Saturday. Looks like I missed a few places there, but I'm ready to put it on. There's some spacers if we need them. Those are 1/8 inch thick spacers. May or may not need them. I'm going to go out here and put this on the truck today. Okay, so here we are outside. As you can see, this crossmember looks just like the 65 to 79 chassis version, except for these holes here in the bottom are a little higher up on the 65. They're up here somewhere. So we're going to stick this on this truck this morning. This is where we left off Saturday. I got to get some smaller washers, which I have for that. And I'll put those top bolts in first, because those are going to be the hardest ones to line up. And then if we have to ream any of these other holes, then we'll do that. We should be able to bolt this on. Not exactly sure what length bolts we're going to use, but we will have the rack bolts, and they will be in grade 8 for the main 6 holes there. These top ones, these green ones, these are all grade 5, but hell, they're 1/2 inch bolts. You're not gonna shear or break 4 1/2 inch bolts right on top of 6 grade 8 bolts. Just ain't gonna happen. If it does, the truck's gonna be trashed. So, anyways, let me get this setting in there. Can't hold the camera and do it at the same time, but I'll stick it in there, stick a couple bolts in it, and we'll go from there. Okay, got me some small diameter washers here on this side and that side. I've got these bolted up tight, so these holes should line up. They did before. We'll put the crossmember in and see. Okay, got it sitting in there. Some bolts. One bolt went all the way through. It's only one out of the top and middle on this side, top on that side. They won't go all the way through, but I do have the spacers in there on each side. It looks like this side is pretty straight. The frame rail straight. Basically, that crossmember, those end plates are straight up and down. They're very, very level, straight up and down, 90 degrees to the bottom. Now this frame rail over here, I thought at first that it looked like it was tilted out at the top, but you can't really tell by the gap. But once it's pulled up, it'll be straight. So let me figure out what bolts I got to get for this, and I probably got them here in the shop. So figure out the bolts. I'm gonna have to do some reaming to get the other ones to fit. I'll put in the top bolts and get it semi-tight, and then we'll measure for the sleeves that got to go under here, crush sleeves. I think those are going to have to be around 2 1/4, 3/16 to 2 1/4, something like that. We'll find out just as soon as we tighten some of this other up. We'll tighten these other up, just be snug. Then we can measure that and make those. Should have those already made, by the way, probably. If not, I can make them real quick. The width of this looks like a 3 1/2 inch bolt. Probably do it, but with a washer on the outside and a washer on the inside, I just don't know if it's going to be enough. I may need to do 4s on this, but I think I'll go grab some 3 1/2 and some 4 for this, some washers, and we'll start snugging it up and see if 3 1/2 is enough. If 3 1/2 is enough to go through the locking part of the lock nut without any bunch of hanging over, or without it being under the nylon, then we'll leave it that way. If we got to go with 4s, we're going to have a little bit sticking out, which I do not like. I hate having to cut all that material off, but I will if I have to. So I don't know if a 3 3/4 bolt is something that's readily available or something I'd have to special order, but I can do that if I need to. Okay, I got found one 1/2 by 3.5 inch bolt in the shop. And that's all that sticks out right there. So I don't think it's going to be enough with a washer and then also a lock nut, because the lock nut's got the nylon insert there. It's a little taller than a regular nut. So it's not going to work. I'm going to see if the specialty fastener place here in town has 3 3/4, or I'll have to order some somewhere. But for now, I'm going to put some 4s in here. We're almost up against it. So I'll put some 4s in here so this thing is bolted together and see what we got. Okay, I got some bolts in this, 4s, 3 of them tightened down. And those threads don't stick out too bad, so looks like 4 is going to be the number. Probably needs some smaller washers where they don't hang over the edge like that. I don't like the way it looks, but yeah, I do like the way it looks myself when it's right. I don't like stuff like that. So this is going to bolt up fine. The crush sleeve on the bottom, though, let's see what it's got to be. Looks like it's going to be, yeah, about 2 3/16. We'll do it. 2 3/16. I should already have some of those already cut, but so if not, I'll cut them. But we are up against the end of the hour, the first hour anyway. Basically, what I do is I try to split this up where I work out here for an hour, and then I work on the other parts in the shop for an hour. So I think what I'm going to do is, let's see. I think I will go ahead and grab some more 4-inch bolts for there. I'll grab the sleeves. If they're not cut right, I'm going to cut them right. I'll get the ones for that side so we can bolt this all the way up completely. I'm going to have to put an 1/8 inch washer down there at the bottom behind that, because this plate here is only for the top 4 holes. I got some thick ones down there that I can do. Hate to do something like that, but I'd rather have a laser cut plate that's exactly right, but I don't have any for the big hole, for the big tall one like that. So I should probably go ahead and order some of those now. I could probably have them in 3 or 4 days. This truck may be done by then, though. It's going to have to leave. Guys ready for it, so let me go grab some bolts, finish bolting this thing up. That way this part, outside part's done. It's the sky is kind of dark outside and it's cloudy, so we may have some rain later today, and I'd rather go ahead and get this done so I don't have to mess with it later on. Okay guys, starting to rain out here, so I had to jump back off this and get my equipment inside. So that's where we're at. Bolts in, pins through. It's basically, it's going to fit just fine. The only other thing I don't know is the plate I got to make for that lower arm, but I'll get that other frame over here on the frame table and do some measuring. Then I should be able to make that arm in, I don't know, half an hour. I've got the arm itself. I just need to make a bracket for it. Then I can start putting the control arms on. But as I was saying earlier, we are up against it, so I'm going to get inside and work on the control arms for this thing and see if I can get them done today. Peace.